Hey there, pick a card. In this episode, we are going to pick a card to help us overcome our fear of busting out of our comfort zone. Today is day 293 of the Daily Scare Share, doing one thing a day that scares me, and hopefully you too, from the book, Do One Thing a Day That Scares You. Journal type book. We're getting there. There's not that much left, which is pretty exciting, right? 292 days in a row, I've done something to stretch my comfort zone, and I hope you've done something right along with me, because they're not super hard things. Sometimes they're harder than others, but every day, if we just do a little bit to tip our toe out of our comfort zone, before you know it, we're doing things, like me, for example, that I never even imagined that I could possibly do. I never thought that I could do Facebook Live at all, much less do it 293 days in a row. Yet, here we are, day 293. So today I want to do something different. I want to do a little demo. It's one of those dreaded blank line days where it just says, I need my magnifying glass, of course, it says sensations today. And then it's got a bunch of blank lines. Well, what the heck does that mean? I need to find out and make it mean something for me if I'm going to stretch my comfort zone. So what sensation could I have today to bust me out of the box I'm in and stretch my comfort zone a little? Get me to do something that I maybe wouldn't otherwise do. I already know something I'm going to do today. I'm going to do it on my next video. It's creating an offer for a contest that we're having. But on this video, I want to show you what I do a lot when I get these blank line days, so that I don't feel like I'm up against a brick wall and I don't really know what I can do, and I don't have anything to trigger my thinking for how I could stretch my comfort zone. So I like to take one of these decks of cards. I used one from the same deck yesterday, but today I'm going to show you exactly how I go about doing it. I take the deck. This is the Well-Being Deck, The Teachings of Abraham by Esther and Jerry Hicks. I am a woo-woo person since my sudden cardiac arrest. Deal with it. So I take the deck, I dump it out into my hand, I shuffle the deck. I'm not a very good shuffler, especially with giant cards, but I shuffle it up a little bit. And I just relax and take a deep breath, and I think about, what's the right card for me today? And I just shuffle it. How many ever times I feel like shuffling, there is no magic number. Then I like to fan them out sometimes. Sometimes I don't fan them out. Sometimes I turn them upside down. Sometimes I take the top one. Sometimes I take the bottom one. Whatever I'm feeling is right for me. Then I reach in. I grab a card. I just try it and I have sticky fingers. I reach in, I grab a card. And whatever it is, that's my message for today. Put the rest of them back in the box because I like to stay a little organized. And then, see, there's the one we had yesterday, the cute little bunny. I read you the card. Yay! Let's see what we got today. I'll show you the card. You can probably read it better than I can, even backwards. It says, I look for positive aspects in every experience. Now that is a good comfort zone stretching. That's just a good way to live life anyway. It says, within every particle of the universe is that which is wanted and lack of it. By looking for the positive aspects of whatever you are giving your attention to, you maintain your connection with well-being. Remember, this deck is all about well-being. And I like these decks because they're like summaries of books. And if you're like me and most people on the planet these days, you don't have time to necessarily sit down and read a whole book. But you can grab the Cliff Note version, take a card, pull a card out, and carry it with you during the day. And then when stuff happens and life happens, because it inevitably does, that tips you over or gets you focusing on the negative aspects of what's going on in your life, this little baby, you could pull it out of your book or out of your purse or out of your wallet or out of your back pocket and remind yourself to focus on the positive aspects of everything that's going on around you, because we always have control over what we focus on, what we think, and what we feel about things. We don't have control of the things that happen around us, but we always have control of our reaction to those things. So that's what I do. I take this little baby with me today, and like I said, every time I need a little reminder or a little uplifting, I read my card. That is another reason I love these cards. So that's our message for today. What can you do today? What sensation do you want to feel? Because if you plan out how you want to feel, you're more likely to feel that way today. If I plan that I'm going to have a marvelous day with friends and family and great relationships and great conversations and everything is going to go smoothly, if I map that out ahead of time in my imagination, I'm much more likely to have that perfect day than if I just wake up and I go through the motions of living my life, and whatever life throws at me, I just react to it. Much better to be proactive and plan and just have a picture of what I'd like my ideal day to be like, and kind of map out the strategy of my day than just living in the moment of whatever happens, I'm going to react to it in that moment. Not so fun sometimes, because sometimes bad stuff happens and we want to be a little bit more prepared than whatever happens, I'll just deal with it. That's it. Go out, make it a fabulous day. And of course, I will be with you tomorrow for day 294 of the Daily Scare Share. Don't be scared. You got this.